Member Cantu, second by Board Member Gomez. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I would aye as well.
Aye.
Motion carries. We now move to item D1, Superintendent Dr. Chavez.
Yes, Mr. President, governing board members, and welcome to everyone in the audience. We do appreciate your time, and we're glad that you're here with us today. I would like to announce today that all of our 6th grade and 3rd grade students have completed the AZ Merit online assessment. So please give our students a big round of applause. If I would have told you a year ago that our students would be taking a computer-based assessment, you'd have probably laughed at me. But there's so many people to thank in that process of not only buying the technology to have the online testing, but to actually administer and also have the test available for our students. So I'd like to begin by thanking Tom McGorry and his staff, Mr. OJ, and also Educational Services and Dr. Lawler, the Technology Task Force, our librarians, classroom teachers, administrators for serving our students so well, and also taking the leap that most school districts would not take in understanding that our students would rather take the assessment on a computerized test rather than pencil and paper. That's really looking forward, and I do appreciate each and every one of you for thinking ahead and thinking like our students and doing what's best for our students. So thank you so much. I also would like to announce that in the GCU magazine, a 2nd grade teacher from Sunset Elementary School, Anthony Bettis, was featured on the cover of that particular magazine. I thought I had a copy. And I'll pass it to the governing board. But this is Anthony. Isn't he a good-looking guy? This guy's going to be a movie star or something. I don't know if he's going to teach very long, but I'll tell you what, he's an excellent teacher, and he's on the cover of the magazine. So we're very proud of him and proud that he represents our Cartwright teachers in that fashion. So congratulations to Anthony. I'll pass this around so you can take a look at it. And then also, I would like to thank Rebecca Lime-Kuehler and the Holiday Park staff and the volunteers and the Phoenix Fire Department for all coming together and installing 335 working smoking detectors in homes of our community. We made a bad situation turn out well, where 335 families now have smoke detectors in their homes. So congratulations to Rebecca Lime-Kuehler and the Holiday staff. Please give them a big round of applause. Then we also had a situation where 7 of our schools were locked down for a great period of time. And when you look at 7 schools, you're looking at over 7,000 students. And what occurred at that time was a very interesting process with the Phoenix Police Department. I want to thank them for their partnership in helping us to lock down our schools and also provide information that was ongoing and on time, actually in time. So I'd like to thank the school administrators from each of those schools, Holiday Park, Heatherbray, Davidson, Desert Sands, Castro, Pena, and Estrella. And also thank Klaus Hanold, our risk manager, for dealing with the situation well, Dr. Clementina Salinas, Leslie Chaparro, Tammy Martin, Susie Corrales, Mona Hawkins, Linda Garcia, Kenya Carrillo, Kathleen Jimenez, Marty Gibson, Ana Carrillo, and also food services played a role in this. Lorraine Skull helped me get some water from the back of the food services area. Veronica Sanchez, Alma Soltero, Rita Sanchez, and then of course Christine Santos and Elsa Macias. And then Sergeant Ramos is with us tonight. Please stand, Sergeant, for your presence here. All of these individuals assured that none of our students were in harm in any way. Out of the 7,000 students that were displaced for a period of time, only one had to be taken home by the Phoenix Police Department. So all of you did a wonderful job. And the transportation department was amazing. Their efficacy was unbelievable. They held some evacuees from the apartment complex. We took food and water to them at the district office annex. And I had a chance to visit with 11 adults and 12 of our students. And the transportation department stayed there till 8 o'clock in the evening. And as you know, they began their day at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I know that they were tired, and I know that they were hungry, and I know that they would have rather been somewhere else, but they took it upon themselves to stay and help a community in need. So my hat goes off to the transportation department and everybody that was there. Thank you so much. And last but not least, in March, the Arizona Republic reported a story about the top 10 paying school districts in Phoenix, Arizona. And I asked that question many times. If I asked you the question, who would you think would be the top paying school district on average in the state of Arizona? And many people told me Alhambra, Phoenix Union, Tempe, and Tempe would be in that category, but because I used to work in Tempe. But Mesa, I heard everybody but Cartwright. But in this article, it surprised me to a degree also. But the number one paying district on average for teachers, it's 58,454 is the Cartwright School District. So about that, I know it's a well-known fact, but just want to express that to our executive team, express our thanks, and also to the Meet and Confer team for ensuring that our teachers congratulate each and every one of those teachers and our classified certified staff do deserve to get paid. So congratulations to each and every one of you. At this point in time, it gives me pleasure to introduce you Veronica Sanchez, who will present the Superintendent's Award of Excellence.
Good evening. Dear Mr. President, Governing Board, Governing Members, Secondly, will we announce the Superintendent's Award of Excellence for our employee and his strength. This evening, the protocol is a bit different because our honoree is no longer with us, but her spirit and dedication
all of that, the thing that she hated the worst was when she couldn't make it into the office to serve the staff and teachers and the children that she loves so much. And the family, speaking for my son and daughter, and her brothers and sister and family, thank you very, very much. And I appreciate the opportunity to recognize her service to the district.
Would the Starlight Park staff please stand? I know it's been a difficult time for you, but I want to tell you that you have handled this very well. I know what you're going through. 2 years ago, I went through something similar. So keep your faith, keep your strength, and support one another. We appreciate your time and effort, and thank you for being here tonight. We certainly appreciate it.
Thank you.
At this point in time, I'd like to introduce Dr. Lawler, who will be presenting the STEM College and Career Ready update. Dr. Lawler.
Thank you, Dr. Chavez. Deep breath, guys. Good evening, Dr. Chavez, President Lopez, members of the governing board. Tonight, I'm very excited to bring more information about our College and Career Ready STEM initiative. We really want to show our governing board tonight our current implementation and our next steps for continuous improvement for our children and families in Cartwright. Mary Kay Radovich, our STEM and PLC director, and I actually presented just the 8th grade plan last week at the West Neck Governing Board, and we were very excited about sharing our first year in our partnership and how we're utilizing some of the money that they're giving us at West Neck to really enhance what we're doing here in Cartwright with the 8th grade, and of course with our kindergarten through 7th grade. Tonight we want to share what we're doing now and what we're going to be doing in the future to really support all of our children to be college and career ready when they move beyond 8th grade here in Cartwright. So I'd like to introduce Mary Kay to please come up. She's doing an excellent job, and I'm not sure Scott, her assistant director, if he's here, but I want to thank him as well. And Mary Kay, thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. President, fellow board members, Dr. Chavez, and executive team. Thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight to talk more about our College and Career Readiness Plan, which is preparing students for high school and beyond. STEM is just one component of our College and Career Ready Plan. We've actually separated it into 3 different sections. So we have our learning aspect, which is learning for adults and students, and parents and all of us. We have our preparation plan, which is helping our students create that vision for their future, helping prepare them to think about their next steps and understand that the choices they make today impact their options tomorrow. And then finally, our plan for experiences, providing kids with those opportunities to go on field trips and go to ASU and go to West Mac and really experience those opportunities firsthand. So tonight's presentation is really just about the learning aspect of our College and Career Readiness Plan, and that is about STEM. So we're going to talk really briefly just about what is STEM. And I know that STEM is a buzzword in education right now, and we talk about it a lot, but what does it mean? So STEM is an integrated approach to learning that brings together science, technology, engineering, and math. And not just because it's a rigorous curriculum, but because it goes together in the real world. This is how people operate in business, in society, and in the community. So we want to provide those authentic learning opportunities for our students. We use the research, design, build, test, and prove model when we do our STEM kits and in our learning opportunities. And then what we're understanding about STEM and really creating that vision for our students is that it helps them see what they're learning in the classroom and the relevance that it has in their community and at home. So Mr. Winters was able to show you a video clip back in February of the Futures channel, and that was a portion of the preparation, helping students develop that vision for their future. But I wanted to just reiterate that it's also a big piece of the learning for our students and teachers. It helps us see those career opportunities that are available, things that we would have never thought of. So we're excited about bringing the Futures channel back next year and hopefully expanding that for additional grade levels. Next, we were able to purchase 2 STEM kits for our 2nd and 8th grade students in the district. And the STEM kits use that design model that I mentioned. They bring real life scenarios and issues to the classroom so that students can problem solve, work collaboratively, do presentations, and really understand beyond the classroom learning. And then finally, like I mentioned, it's an integrated learning opportunity, bringing together our next generation science standards, math, and ELA. So the first kit that our students experienced was the 2nd grade's Rolling Things kit. And the students in 2nd grade and the teachers had great learning opportunities. They were able to create different variables for cars and ramps to actually impact a crash box. So the students had to experiment and explore if they changed the weight of the car, if they used a different model of car, or if they changed the ramp height, how would that impact the crash of the car? They had to research and design and test and retest and then document their data. A celebration with Rolling Things is that we did a lot of videos of our 2nd grade students, and the owner of the company where we purchased our kits, A World in Motion from New York, was able to see some of those videos, and she really loved our work. She asked that she was able to post some of our videos on their website, so we were able to get approval from all of our parents of the kids that were involved. And then they asked us to pilot one of their brand new STEM kits. So we were able to engage in that in a music STEM kit for our 2nd graders. Next, we have our robotics club. Remember this, we're focusing on the learning aspect of our college and career readiness. So we have our robotics clubs in 11 schools for our 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. The kids are able to build and program and code robots to do different things. One in particular that I was able to see was a pet robot, a dog, and the kids are able to name it and program it to sit and stay and come and things like that. So they really enjoy that. Our goal, of course, is to expand our robotics club. Next, for 4th grade, we've initiated a partnership with Mattel, and they'll be doing a similar kit to Rolling Things, just at a more rigorous level for our 4th grade students. This is an example of a Davidson kickoff, where they were meeting the actual partners that we have and doing some of the experimentation. Our 8th grade students across the district were able to participate in the Glider Challenge, and this is an amazing STEM kit for our students and our teachers. The students receive a proposal from a fictitious publishing company, and it asks the students to create a book that is geared towards 8-year-olds on how they can design gliders and then fly them, so giving directions. So the 8th grade students have to apply those skills of researching and designing and testing and building and experimenting and then improving, which I think is probably one of the most difficult challenges for our students. Once they create their prototypes, they have to evaluate them and then make improvements. One of the probably most beneficial things of our STEM kits is that the students work in collaborative teams. They work in teams to solve problems just like we do in education and in the business world, and so bringing those real life opportunities to our students has been invaluable. The other learning portion, it's not just for the students, it's for the teachers as well, and these are some pictures of our 8th grade science teachers who were becoming STEM ready. They spent a week learning about how to change their instruction and integrate STEM into their classroom. It's really a shift for their instructional approach, but they went through the glider kits themselves, they went through the activities and made the kits so that they would have a better opportunity to prepare their students to do the same thing. And speaking of that, we were just contacted by Grand Canyon, and they would like to do some STEM staff development for our adults, so we're definitely ready for that. Finally, our next steps for continuous improvement. Our dream right now, our big goal, is to add a STEM elective for our older students. We have some ideas about how we could make that happen, and we are really excited about the possibility of bringing that to our 8th grade students. We'd like to expand the Futures channel, as I mentioned, to at least include our 6th graders and hopefully more. We'd like to expand our robotics clubs to include all 21 of our sites, including AFS. And then we're looking at some supplemental science materials to help our classrooms out, and the ones that we're looking at also have a STEM component, so that would be a natural integration for STEM at all grade levels. And then finally, we just know that we need to focus on adult learning. And one of the exciting parts about the WestMech presentation, when Dr. Lawler and I were speaking to the board, we talked about all the professional development that we had planned and that we had delivered and the amount of money that we spent on that. And one of the board members offered to maybe supplement our professional development budget to help us with that so we could continue with our adult learning. For college and career readiness, just to remind you all that we'd really like to fine-tune our field trip experiences, to customize those to meet the interests and the needs of our students. We're continuing our collaboration with our counselors to help set goals to really do that preparation piece for the students. How can they begin to see that vision for their future? We are having field trips for our parents. That's a plan for next year, some improvement. We saw the value in taking our students to WestMech and seeing those amazing programs, but what would it be like to be able to take our parents to those same programs so that they can begin to develop that vision for their kids? We're going to continue our partnership with Dr. Whitaker at ASU and continue our field trips with him and our work. And then finally, I don't know if you've heard about it yet, but we are really, really excited to partner with the Aguila Leadership Institute for our students. If you haven't had the opportunity, please look it up online. Right now, they have 900 students in over 80 universities. They've raised over $65 million for tuition fees for these students. We met with the founder. I guess this has been going on for about 6 years. She initiated the program based on her own need, and it's a volunteer type mentorship program for our students, and their theme is kind of like pay it forward. So once you're accepted into the program and they mentor you through high school, they mentor you through college, then you come back and you become a mentor to a high school student. It's amazing. They have monthly workshops for the kids on leadership and personal development and just learning how to be a great citizen. So they extended our deadline till April 30th. Patricia Lopez and I met with K-8 and middle school principals to just make sure that even though we're kind of on a short timeline this year, if we can get a few kids in this year, it's better than none. And then next year, we'll have big goals, as always. So please look that up if you don't know much about it. It's truly an amazing opportunity. And if anybody out there has kids, I'd be looking it up too. So, is this our thing? I don't know you guys.
Yes, it is.
Okay,
Clip.
so are you gonna, do you
Before
wanna
the
help me out?
clip, Mary Kay, I'd like to, you guys got a little thank you note
We did.
in the mail today.
Oh, that's
And it
nice.
happens to be from WestMech. And I'll just read part of it and then I'll pass it around.
Okay.
Dear Leanne and Mary Kay, all I can say is wow. Such a heartfelt and dynamic presentation to our governing board. I like to watch the board while presentations are being done. Your passion, dedication makes all the difference in the world. And the Cartwright School District is lucky to have you. They're right about that.
It's so nice.
So thank you for your vision and for all that you do for your students. Dee is Dr. Donovan's secretary. So
Oh, great.
her handwriting is unbelievable. This penmanship is what impressed me. You don't see penmanship like that anymore because we don't write much anymore. We're always on the computer. But I will pass this around and make sure that you
Thank you.
take a look at it.
Coming from them, that's a real honor. We appreciate it a lot.
Congratulations to you also, Dr. Lawler.
So now I know that we had a little help in getting this action going.
Yes, Channel 12 came out during the aviation portion of one of the STEM programs at West Mac, and the students were there to learn about everything aviation related, down to how to run a cockpit, what to do with the propellers, and they actually got a first-hand look at how students there took apart an entire plane. So it was very visual, and it was incredibly, I kept hearing cool, this is so cool, the entire time that they were there. So this is the piece that Channel 12 did.
Excellent. You look cute on there too.
Oh, you're so
Sorry, I was wrong about